1 in 8 American adults has already used it. That is 41 million people. Probably someone in your family. Maybe someone at your workplace. Maybe you. Ozempic has become one of the most talked about drugs in America, and one of the most misunderstood. Most people think of it as a weight loss shot. Something celebrities use to drop pounds fast. A shortcut. But here is what the science is actually showing, and what almost nobody is talking about on social media. Ozempic is not primarily a weight loss drug. It is a hormone that your own body already makes. And scientists are discovering that it does far more than control your appetite. It may protect your heart. It may protect your kidneys. It may reduce addiction cravings. And it might be changing the way your brain processes food in ways that nobody fully understands yet. Today we are going to break down exactly what Ozempic does inside your body. In plain English, no medical degree required. What it is, how it actually works, what the new research is finding, and what the honest risks are that your doctor may not have told you about. What is Ozempic? And what is GLP-1? Ozempic is the brand name for semaglutide, a weekly injection originally FDA approved for type 2 diabetes. When doctors noticed patients were also losing significant weight, the same drug at a higher dose was relaunched as Wegovy for weight loss. Mounjaro and Zepbound are similar drugs by Eli Lilly. All belong to a class called GLP-1 receptor agonists. Here is what that actually means in plain English. GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide 1. It is a hormone your own gut already produces naturally, every time you eat. When food hits your digestive system, your gut releases GLP-1 as a signal to your brain and your pancreas that food is coming. It tells your pancreas to release insulin to manage blood sugar. It tells your brain you are getting full, and it slows down how quickly your stomach empties, meaning food sits in your stomach longer, keeping you satisfied. Ozempic mimics this hormone at a much higher level, and for much longer than your body naturally produces it, constant throughout the week, instead of a short burst after meals. The result? You feel full faster, you are hungry less often, you eat significantly less without feeling deprived, and your blood sugar stays stable. Clinical trials show GLP-1 drugs produce 10 to 20% reductions in body weight on average. The most effective versions lead to weight loss of over 20% of body weight. Beyond weight loss, what else is Ozempic actually doing? Here is where the story gets genuinely fascinating, and where most social media coverage completely misses the point. Scientists originally developed GLP-1 drugs to manage blood sugar in diabetic patients. Then they discovered the weight loss effect. But as millions of people started using these medications, researchers began noticing other things happening, things nobody had predicted. Heart protection. A major trial involving over 17,000 patients found semaglutide reduced heart attacks, strokes, and cardiovascular death by 20%, even in people without diabetes. The FDA expanded Ozempic's approved use to include reducing cardiovascular risk. Research at the European Congress on Obesity 2026 further confirmed GLP-1 medications significantly reduce the risk of serious obesity-related diseases. Emerging research also shows these drugs may slow kidney disease progression, potentially enormous for the tens of millions of Americans with kidney problems. The addiction connection. This is the finding that has surprised researchers most. People taking Ozempic have been spontaneously reporting that they drink less alcohol, that they feel less urge to gamble, that cravings for cigarettes have diminished. Scientists believe this happens because GLP-1 receptors exist not just in the gut, but in the brain, specifically in regions involved in reward and craving. Ozempic may be quietly dampening the brain's desire for pleasurable stimulation, not just food, but other addictive behaviors too. Clinical trials specifically testing GLP-1 drugs for alcohol use disorder and smoking cessation are now underway. 1 in 8 American adults, approximately 41 million people, has already used a GLP-1 drug. The brain effects go further. Research from late 2025 found that Ozempic and Mounjaro actually change how food tastes, making sweet and salty foods taste more intense, which appears to reduce cravings for them. Duke University scientists discovered in 2025 that the pancreas's own alpha cells, long thought to only produce a different hormone, actually generate GLP-1 themselves. Your body has more of this system built in than anyone realized, which nobody warns you about now for the part that the Instagram ads do not mention. The single biggest problem with Ozempic and its cousins is what happens when you stop taking them. These drugs do not fix the underlying biology, they manage it. The moment you stop the weekly injection, your natural GLP-1 levels return to where they were. Your appetite comes back, your cravings return, and the weight comes back with them. Research from Harvard Medical School and the Technical University of Munich, published in late 2025, confirmed this directly. GLP-1 drugs produce major weight loss, but stopping them reverses most of the benefit. A separate study presented in January 2026 compared GLP-1 drugs to bariatric surgery in over 50,000 real-world patients. Surgery patients lost around 58 pounds on average over 2 years. GLP-1 patients lost significantly less. The implication is uncomfortable but important. For people with severe obesity, Ozempic is not necessarily the best tool available. These drugs may need to be taken for life to maintain their benefits. That means a weekly injection at a cost of around $900 to $1,300 per month without insurance, potentially forever. There is also the muscle loss problem. GLP-1 drugs cause the body to lose weight, but not just fat. Research published in January 2025 found that muscle loss can make up nearly half of the total weight lost on these medications. Muscle is metabolically important. It burns calories at rest, supports bone density, and keeps you physically capable as you age. Losing a significant amount of muscle while losing fat is not a neutral trade-off, especially for older adults. And the side effects are real. Nausea, vomiting, constipation, and diarrhea are common, particularly when starting the medication or increasing the dose. For most people, these improve over time, which is why doctors start at low doses and increase gradually, but for some people they never fully resolve. So, should you use Ozempic? This is the question almost everyone has. And the honest answer is, it depends entirely on your specific health situation. For people with type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular risk, or serious obesity-related conditions like sleep apnea or high blood pressure, the evidence is strong. For mildly overweight but otherwise healthy people who simply want to lose weight faster, the calculation is far less clear. Long-term safety data beyond 5 years is limited. Muscle loss is real. The cost without insurance runs $900 to $1,300 a month, and weight regain after stopping is very likely. The WHO requested 3 major independent reviews specifically because long-term safety data remains incomplete. Those reviews confirmed meaningful weight loss, but flagged strong pharmaceutical company involvement in the studies and limited data beyond a few years as genuine concerns. For people with type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular risk, Ozempic is not a vanity drug. It is potentially life-saving medicine. For mildly overweight, otherwise healthy people, the picture is far less clear. To sum up, Ozempic is not a miracle. It is not a scam. It is a genuinely powerful medication that does things inside the human body that scientists did not fully expect, including protecting the heart, potentially treating addiction, and changing the way the brain processes craving and reward. But it is also a drug that needs to be taken indefinitely to maintain results, comes with real side effects, causes significant muscle loss, and costs more per month than most Americans' car payments. The question is not whether Ozempic works. The evidence is clear that it does. The question is whether it works for your situation, and that is a conversation to have with a doctor who knows your full health picture, not with a social media post. The science on GLP-1 drugs is moving faster than almost any other area of medicine. What we know today is almost certainly not the full picture. There may be benefits not yet discovered, and risks that only emerge in long-term data that does not yet exist. If this gave you a clearer picture, subscribe and drop your experience in the comments. Have you or someone you know used Ozempic?